Yes, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Call me Wamala Daniel. In today's video, we shall be discussing something to do with information sources. So basically, information sources, or basically about the information sources, we shall be looking at one of the type of the information sources. Then, which is primary sources. After this one, I'm going to also create a video talking about the secondary source. Okay. So basically, let's start with this one. The primary source. The primary source is a direct or first-hand piece of evidence created at the time of the event or by someone who directly experienced the event or phenomenon. So, information primary sources, this is like the first or the number one source or the major or the leading source, which is the original source, which has not been altered in any way. Okay. So, let's also look at the characteristic of primary sources. So the first characteristic is we are looking at the originality of the sources. Now, talking about the originality of the sources, if you are to see, okay, these sources are the first to provide information about a particular event or subject. So they are number one when it comes to providing information concerning a particular event or subject. They also provide raw data, okay, which is unfiltered and unaltered in any way. They also provide information which is unmediated, which is having unmediated evidence. So there is no interpretation or analysis from another person because the source itself is the evidence. Time related. How? This simply means the information has been created at the time when that particular phenomenon or the event was occurring. Okay, so these are the four common characteristics of primary source. Let's look at also example of primary sources of information. The first one is document. So when we talk of document, we have also variety of document. We have historical document like the treaties talking of the Buganda Agreement, which was signed in 1990 between the Buganda and the colonial people. Okay, we have also legal documents such as the court cases and government legislation. We have also personal letters, diaries, autobiographies, e.g. Anne Frank's diary. We also have newspapers and magazines which has been published or created during that particular time of the events. Okay, we also have creative work, a novel, a poem, artwork created during a particular period. Okay, like the Shakespeare's play, Van Gogh's painting. We also have song or musical composition from a specific era, like looking in the past. Maybe when people were having wars, maybe like in northern Uganda here, people were having wars, so musicians were trying to create some songs which can be composed talking about the wars, how the war is affecting people. Not only that, we also have oral histories and interviews. Now, when we talk of oral histories and interviews, we'll be talking of the testimonies or interviews with individuals directly involved or witness the events. We also have ethnography fieldwork. Not only that, we also have artifacts. Artifacts, this deal with tools, clothing, building and architecture, such as the Pyramid of Egypt or medieval castle. We also have scientific data, raw data from scientific experiment. Like I can go in the laboratory, create some experiment, come out with my result, and that one will be a scientific data or data set from surveys or experiment. Okay, so those are basically the example of primary sources of information. Let's also talk about purpose of primary sources. They provide raw evidence. Now, these raw evidence are unfiltered, unmediated. Okay, providing first-hand account or data. Then is also the foundation for a research where the research always begins from. It begins from the primary source of information. It also insight into into context. They allow researchers to understand events, future figures, and phenomena from the perspective of those who live them. We also have direct connection. Primary source always have direct connection to the phenomenon or the event which has taken place. Okay. Yes. So let's look at this one, which is role in research. How can it help when somebody is conducting a research? This one is basically for the researchers, okay? Like primary sources are essential in fields that require original data or facts and account, especially in history, anthropology, and sociology, where understanding personal experience and direct evidence is paramount. Researchers use primary sources to test hypotheses, explore a new angle of analysis, and gain direct evidence for argument. So basically, my dear viewers, that's what I can offer for you concerning primary source as one of the type of information sources. So my dear viewers, don't forget to like, hit the subscription button, share, and leave a comment. Until we meet again in the next video.